Okay, we're set to do ILS into Heathrow from Gatwick. I've tried to arrange the screen here so you can see a bit of what's going on. So we're expecting 3,000. We've actually flight planned for 3,000. We're going to turn on the flight director. You can see the little line there. We're also going to press the Togo button, and the flight director is going to decide where we should be on the takeoff. So let's see if we can get airborne here. Push the panel up as far as I can. With this aircraft, it's pretty low. You can't really see very well, but that way you should be able to get an idea. So here comes V1. See the little blue markings? V2, rotate. Okay, so we're going to take it up to where the flight director is, set the pitch, and engage the autopilot. And that should hold it right there. That's locking pitch and roll. And at a reasonable altitude, over 500 feet or so, we're going to engage nav mode and FLC. That should take us up to where we want to be. And we'll lift the flaps and gear and answer the radio.
Heathrow approach Cessna Charlie, India. Mike Oscar Mike is climbing through 2,000 feet for 3,000 feet. Cessna Charlie, India. Mike Oscar Mike Heathrow approach
We'll check our altimeter setting, which is correct. We should roll out on our course. Should be coming up close to our 3,000 feet. We're also coming up fairly high in the speed. Now that we've lifted the flaps and the gear, it's going to speed up. So we're going to pull the throttle back a little bit so we don't go too fast. Now slowing down, subsequently leveling off. Get the throttle back a little bit more. You can see the red line creeping up here. So we'll change our map so you can see better. We do GPS tracking and expand out. So this is where we're going here. So what you're going to probably see here in a second is they probably have a series of points. They say we're going to take you up to 7,000, we're going to take you to 6,000, we're going to take you to 3,500, we're going to take you to 3,000. And all of a sudden they discover that we're moving fast enough so they have to run through these quickly. So we're just going to politely ignore them. I'll be starting that in just a moment. So currently we're at 274 and just about 2990, 3,000 feet, and we're on course. And we're just waiting to be contacted here shortly. Time for a sip of tea. If you haven't figured it out, this is the Cessna CJ4. And we're doing ILS 27 left at Heathrow. So we're going to be using the localizer and the glide slope. Not an RNAV approach. Here we go. So we're cleared to the approach, cleared to the transition. We're going to slow down. They're going to keep cycling through their points. And slow it down. I'm going to put down the gear and flaps now because we're going to slow down anyway. Slowing down. He said 220. We're going to go down about... He's going to give me 180 in a second. All right. Now by the time I get over here to acknowledge that, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, 3,500.
ILS runway 27 left approach, I am Bravo India Golf transition cleared to Bravo India Golf Cessna Mike Oscar Mike.
You're going to take us down to 3,000.
Cessna Mike Oscar Mike climb and maintain 3,000 feet.
Sure, we're already there.
Climb and maintain 3,000 feet, Cessna Mike Oscar Mike.
165, a little more power. So in this aircraft, we have to switch the nav radio. The button for that is right there. So once we've rolled out on a heading in line with the localizer, we'll switch the nav radio to the localizer and engage approach mode. Sometimes it's easier to tell you what's going to happen before it does, because you get your hands full when it's happening. Okay, we're getting a little slow here. Slow. Just coming up to ILL 10. Now I haven't figured out how to get non-thousands in this aircraft because the button just doesn't work. So I'm going to leave it at 3,000. But the glide slope extends at 3 degrees up to the moon, and the localizer goes out pretty long ways, so I'm sure we'll be able to capture it without any trouble. Oh yeah, you have to say that. Yeah, we heard that. Yeah, good. There you go.
Descend and maintain 2,500 feet, Cessna Mike Oscar Mike.
So we're turning on to the approach heading now. And when we get on the approach heading, we'll change the nav frequency to the localizer. You can see the runways right in front of us there. Okay, so here we go. Switch to the localizer, and you can see on the display, actually in the lower part of the display, I'll just slide this up a bit. It's switched to a blue line, that's the localizer. And we'll arm the glide slope. And the glide slope kicked in straight away. Okay, and we're inbound on the approach.
Tower on 124.475, Cessna Mike Oscar Mike. Heathrow Tower, Cessna Charlie India. Mike Oscar Mike 9 miles east inbound ILS runway 27 left approach.
You can see on the upper screen now, I can move it just a little bit. See the glide slope. The little pink thing there is the glide slope, and the localizer just down a little bit lower. I may need to change the picture so I can see what's going on. I still need to see the runway. Not much left to see. I'm going to put down the other notch of flaps. That's going to slow us down a bit more. We actually want to slow down to about 140. And we're cleared to land.
Cleared to land runway 27 left, Cessna Mike Oscar Mike.
Just adjusting the throttle here to get it in around 140. So we're at full flaps, the gear's down. We're on the glide slope, we're on the localizer. The feet on the rudders. At 700 feet. Hand on the throttle. That's looking pretty good.
Cessna Mike, Oscar Mike, contact ground on 121.905.
Got it. Except I'm not off the runway yet. Maybe you should wait for that, since I'm still your problem at this point. Here we go. We get off in the taxiway here. Got it. And the brakes.
Cessna Mike, Oscar Mike.
All right, there we go.